I'm Ehab Assal, cinematographer of the film Omar by Abu Assad. That is now in Cannes here in the Certain Regard. We shot the film last year between October till December in the West Bank in Palestine, Nablus, and refugee camps, and a big part of it also in Nazareth. And it all has to be one city. The film budget was about $1.8 million. We had 40 days of shoot. And with the Alexa. Well, when Hani, the director, came and showed me the script, and I read the script, and I went over with him, you know, the script have its own style. It have chases, it have some action scenes, and it have a love story. So the idea was to combine between the dramatic love story with the subtle movements and the subtle framing and light, and on the same hand to achieve very intense, strong film in action sequences and in a very narrative way that many things happen a lot in the film. And our main character, Omar, go through many things. So the idea was to be as much as possible organic. Like we had a plan, but we also let the places and the character lead us. And the main issue was to be with the character. The camera is Omar in a way, behave like him. And so it was a very nice dynamic. I have no doubt that the Alexa was the right choice, especially in this film, because I was moving a lot from handheld to tripod, and I needed a camera that I made a test before the shoot. And the choice for the Alexa was because I loved the highlights other than other cameras. And actually I enjoyed the noise of it because the noise in the Alexa, it has something of the film grain of it. I don't know what, but it works. And moving a lot from handheld to tripod, I didn't want a camera that take me a lot of time to put things. For me, my camera assistant had maybe 30 seconds to switch from tripod to handheld. And also shooting in places like the West Bank, like in Palestine, refugee camps, it's not easy. The first plan was to be there for 8 days, and we had a schedule for 8 days. Then the insurance company come and tell you you have only 5. So you have to put everything in 5. And we could not have lights in the West Bank, minimum equipment, minimum crew. So we were supposed to manage it as much as possible available with very small things. So there we get the idea to have 2 cameras there and to get a Steadicam operator that will be able to do 35 to 40 setups in one day. It was challenging because you need to do many setups to have all this coverage of action sequence, but you want to keep your light nice and frame and everything. The way we shot the film and the locations and the places, it was not possible to have more monitors and crew. It will slow everything down and it will not work. But of course, as a cinematographer, I love to have it. I love to have a DIT, I love to have my LUTs and to check every shot on the monitor and with the Victor scope and waveforms and everything. But you know, this is your fantasy always, but when you get in the morning on set and you drink your coffee and we start running, you start running. Our director, he's from the old school. So in many days, even he said, I don't want monitor today. We work old-fashioned way. Okay. No monitor, because he had some scenes where he wanted to shoot handheld the whole scene, which is a very dramatic conflict between the 2 friends when they confront each other. And he said, I want 100% freedom for my actors, no monitors, no one watch monitors, it's you with the camera, freestyle on this scene, give them maximum freedom, and we'll work, you know, and I trust you. Actually, this scene, it was a 6 pages dialogue between them. The plan was to shoot in 2 days, to have the continuity of the light and to have the ability to do all the shots. Few days before that, they changed the schedule and they say, you have a 1 day for 6 pages dialogue for a handheld scene. So we did that scene in a 1 day in a construction area where the sun changes a lot and the shadows moving all the time. And it was very challenging to maintain the continuity of the light. But you know, you have to flow with the drama, and there where you get organic. There where you understand, if he now saying this important sentence there, we shoot it there. You know, I felt more confident not to having so many menus and picture profilings and give me this log. The log-see is recorded well. And the false color in the viewfinder, I used it a lot. When I was running, I was sometimes shooting with it, because I was running between alleys and in these action scenes. And sometimes I do the first take, and the second take, I put the false color on while I'm shooting, you know, and put it off during, and it helps. These things helps a lot, because sometimes you need something to relax you, that it's okay. And also, the dynamic range of it. I shot in a very contrastic places, in a very narrow places with a hit of sun and a lot of shadows. I wanted the contrast. It's not like I want to fight the contrast, but I wanted also a camera that can hold it together without checking on monitors or any system. And we didn't even have a post placed that checking our material. I did not have dailies as well. No, they brought me dailies after 3 or 4 weeks of shoot, like this big bunch. What I do with it, I have no time to see it, thank you. Because it takes a lot of time. So I did not see dailies with color correction. And you needed the camera to trust, and I did trust the Alexa. In the exteriors, my plan was to shoot on the 800 ASA, as it have the most dynamic range. After 2 days, I discovered it's not working. Because we don't have time to change in these even. When you're shooting in the old city of Nazareth, running and chase sequence in a kind of a documentary style, you don't want to stop and slow down and get more people around you. And it's the same in the West Bank, in the refugee camp, with the narrow walls and very narrow places. So the idea was, what goes faster for me and the production? And it goes faster was changing the ASA in the camera. And I was changing freely the ASA on the camera. Going to 160, going to 250, entering this very dark alley, going to 500. And I was a little bit in the beginning not so secure about it, but after I checked some material on this, and yeah, it was a good choice. But all the interiors, and when we had the time, I made sure to work on 800 ASA, as it has the most dynamic range. But it's strange, as I shot the most problematic places with the high contrast, I did not do it on 800, and it was good. I used the ultra prime lenses. I wanted actually to test more, to do a real test with the master prime and the ultra prime, and to see what works more for me. But after I test the ultra prime, as this is what I have, I brought them to Nazareth, I brought my actors, and I shot a test in the office. And then I took them to the location where we're gonna do the chase. And I did some shots there. And actually, after I shot there the few things, and I went to Tel Aviv to a post place, just to check the material on a real projector, not on my laptop. I was very satisfied with them. So I said, okay, we stay with the ultra prime. I have no doubts. I don't want the master prime, let's go. First time that I shoot with the Alexa, I was very happy and satisfied. I think, of course, I would like to have a 2K on card or Arri RAW. Actually, we worked in a very difficult places, and the cameras, sometimes we did not put them off all day. They were just on from the morning, just don't put it off. I mean, maybe at lunch break, and that's it. The rest of the time they were working. And in the sun and exteriors and everything, and we had no problems at all. It's very well performed, very well. It's actually it's surprising to, working with the Alexa takes you back to the film days, I think.